Origami, from as simple as paper planes to as complex as the foldable solar panels that NASA sends to space.
I ripped. Rachel, I ripped.
There are infinite levels of origami, and today, we're gonna try 5 of them.
What if you have origami without folding? What is it called?
Paper.
Right now, every episode of this season of Try Guys is available on secondtry.tv. We got a free trial. Go on over and check them out. We're at Element Art Center in Chinatown, Los Angeles, and we're gonna be creating beautiful art, folded art, paper art, Japanese art. It's Japanese, right?
I'm Robert Lang. I'm an origami artist. Origami is a Japanese word. It means folded paper. And we use the Japanese name for the art because it has its deepest roots in this Japanese culture. Today we're gonna start with folding paper airplanes as kind of a warm-up.
Woo! Origami!
Right.
Let's get
Ready to
wild!
go.
Then we're gonna move to the traditional Japanese crane, a parrot, which is not so hard, and a standing crane, which will be quite hard. And then we'll fold a shape used in space called a flagship.
Space.
Yep. So origami is not just cute little art.
It's not anymore. People have found applications of origami anywhere you have something that needs to get bigger and smaller and is roughly sheet-like. And the place where that shows up most spectacularly is in space. Let's see you fold a paper airplane. Just to give you a little bit of a challenge, we're gonna start from a square rather than the usual rectangle.
Knowing that you're watching my folds is intimidating.
I'm grading you, you know.
Oh.
I can see myself getting frustrated. Also, I think this takes a long time. I don't have a lot of patience for that.
Now, this isn't a race. With origami, precision is more important than speed.
I don't really remember, but I'm just gonna go by feel. I was always a little bit artistic, but not very good. But with origami, I don't think you need talent, so Zach and Keith should be fine.
Is this it? Did I do something wrong?
What is that?
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's your plane?
I never knew how to do paper airplanes.
What are you talking about? You didn't go to school?
I've watched some videos of Robert, and this stuff is fascinating. I really want to learn today, which is why I'm making no jokes.
Here's the thing, my paper airplane has a cut. Really, it's a tear.
That feels like cheating to me.
Yeah, that ain't origami.
That's just the one I do.
That's terigami.
How good are you at following directions?
I'm horrible at following directions.
I've had a hard time in school and learning, you know. I just don't really pay attention that much because I think I just go off into my own imagination. And let's talk about origami. It seems so delicate. I'm a man built for warfare. There's nothing really that much delicate about me. This is all hardcore, nothing but big ass protein coming out of my bones.
So are we ready?
Yeah.
2 at a time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
These are both kind of bad. 3, 2, 1.
Kwesi, we won!
you actually made it off the table.
That's right.
Oh, Try Guys, you're so silly. But you know, life isn't just full of silly moments. Everybody, including myself, sometimes has stress, things you're working through. Something that's been a big change in my life lately. I have a kid. That kid is getting older, and it's always a balance trying to manage a career, manage a family, navigate all those things. It can be a strain on your daily life. It can put a strain on your relationship. It's hard. And one of the things that I have used to help me mitigate that stress is therapy. Therapy is a great way to give yourself tools because working with a therapist, they'll listen, they'll ask questions, they'll help you see things from new perspectives. They can give you advice, they can give you techniques to help you navigate stresses as they come in your daily life. And BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they're on a mission to making starting therapy easier. Starting therapy is the hardest part, right? Making that step to actually start talking to someone and making yourself the best version of yourself. With BetterHelp, you just fill out a questionnaire and you're gonna be matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. If you don't feel like you vibe with that therapist, you can change therapists at any time. It's very simple, it's very easy. Something that's hard in the traditional therapy universe is changing therapists, so this is a huge plus, especially if you're just entering into therapy for the first time. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 star rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a company you can trust, especially in your therapy journey. Click the link in our description or go to betterhelp.com/tryguys to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Now back to those silly Try Guys.
We're gonna make the traditional Japanese crane, tsuru. Every Japanese child learns how to do this in kindergarten, so I hope you don't have any trouble with it.
Well, we'll see.
Japanese origami paper has a colored side and a white side, and we're all starting with the colored side up. And we're gonna start by folding it from corner to corner.
All right, you're moving at a pace that I'm trying to stay with.
This is a normal pace.
I started when I was 6, so I've been doing origami almost my entire life. I did well in math in high school, so I ended up studying first electrical engineering and then applied physics. For my PhD work, I did research on lasers and optoelectronics, and that was gonna be my career. When someone approached me about an engineering problem, a telescope as it turned out, and how we could fold the lens up, I realized the math that I developed to help me design birds and flowers and the like could also help me design the folding pattern that would make that telescope lens smaller. By about 2001, I decided to switch and spend full time working on origami, writing a new book about design, and that turned out to be so much fun and so successful as a career that I've been doing full-time origami 24 years and still haven't run out of things to do. Turn it over to white side up. Now we're gonna fold the paper in half edge to edge.
I want to say I'm pretty good at following directions.
You didn't have the white side up, so
Whoopsie.
before we proceed, make that fold again, but with the white side up.
YB's gonna cut that out the video. He's definitely cut that out the video.
Gather 2 folds going one way, 2 folds going the other, and then set it down flat.
Oh, what? This is why I'm gonna get scared now. I sweat when I get scared.
The raw corners are pointing away from you just the same way the raw corners are pointing away from me.
You were talking.
That is
Everything
true.
you said was right. I
was-
just didn't register through me.
I was talking in French.
It didn't get through the Kwesi filter.
What are some of the craziest things you've made?
On the art sphere, the design that probably had the biggest bump to my origami reputation was a Black Forest cuckoo clock.
What the?
This is not a single sheet of
This
paper.
is one uncut sheet of paper.
You are a witch.
The custom is no cuts.
This is an uncut gem.
It's a bigger flex when you don't cut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I got a little rip, a little baby rip.
That's a rip.
That is a rip.
If this is step 1 on the way to your cuckoo clock,
I would throw it away.
Does your fingers hurt?
Usually not, because every fold is a little different, so you're constantly doing things differently.
Oh no.
I ripped. Rachel, I ripped.
I just have to be more gentle, huh?
See that? That's right.
Oh, my gap is huge now.
My gap is huge.
My gap is big.
My gap needs braces.
can we just do a little gap off real quick? Let's show
Oh
our...
my God, it's huge. Look.
I was professional.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's okay. Aside from the rip, yours is quite nice. Yours looks fine.
Real quick, and if I could just get one. Oh my God. Okay, we can move on. Sorry.
Yeah, we all saw what it kind of looks like. The people working with the more flesh-colored paper saw it.
Just one.
You take the edge, the outer edge, and you fold it to the center line.
It's not looking less like a vagina.
It's more and more like a vagina.
I don't think that's part of the Japanese kindergarten either. Turn it over from side to side, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side,
On the dancing side.
on the dancing side.
Yes.
Why do you think kindergartners learn this?
Origami is hundreds of years old in Japan, but the reason it's taught in the schools was because of a German educator.
What?
Around the turn of the 20th century, Friedrich Froebel, German educator, established principles of early childhood education, which is why the term we use is kindergarten, German term. And Froebel taught paper folding exercises. And they said, we're gonna incorporate our own traditional art into the curriculum. It's been there ever since.
I imagine it's great for hand-eye coordination, for focus, following directions.
All of those things.
Yeah.
So we're all ready for the next step.
Yes, we are.
Which is, we're gonna take one of the edges, doesn't matter which, and we're gonna fold the edge over like turning a page of a book. Whoa. Okay, now these skinny points, these are gonna be the head and the tail, and we're gonna lift one up all the way to align with the other two flaps, which will be the wings,
Like all the way down to touch
as
it?
far as it'll go, yep.
So this is a tip touching moment. Sorry.
What's wrong, Zach?
No, I made a joke.
What? Did you make it? Oh, you're not supposed to make jokes in today's video.
I said tip touching tips. And I'm sorry about it.
You should be. This is for Japanese kindergartens what we're doing, and that's unacceptable.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, we should.
Let's take one of those flaps and we're gonna fold about a third of it back down.
Kwesi James don't do good with that.
About a third of it.
About a third. What? You can eyeball it.
Holy shit, though. You see what just happened, though?
Oh, shit, it's
Because
happening.
it just went boop, and all of a sudden we have a bird.
Wow.
Take a layer from one side, we're gonna fold it over.
This can't be level 1.
Golly.
My brittle fold broke through, and now there's a tear.
Oh no.
Oh, we got a tear.
We got a big tear.
That's not good.
That's a giant tear.
It's a tiny little tear.
Tiny little tear. You should have these nice big flaps, which are the wings. Look in between the wings so that you can see these 2 points. A stubby one, which will be the head, and a pointy one, which will be the tail. Start with the tail, and we're just gonna pivot it outward so that it stands out from the wings.
Tail.
And then we're gonna do the same thing to the head. We slide it out, and then reach inside, find the tip, and slide it out at a steeper angle to make the head. Then we're gonna take the wings, we'll fold a wing down on one side as far as it'll go, turn it over, fold the other wing down, and we have the crane, the traditional Japanese suru crane.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, look at that.
Mine's like, hey, Kwesi.
Hey, what's up, Abby?
So, both of these, B level.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with maybe like a C on both of these.
So it's gonna get a lot harder than this.
It's gonna get way harder than
Oh
this.
no.
We're gonna do a parrot next.
And this is an original origami design of yours.
Yes, this is the parrot that we're going to make.
Wow.
And it sits
Darling.
on your finger. It's not a very complex design, which is good because we don't have a lot of time to fold it. But I think it pretty effectively says parrot. So let's fold.
Okay.
Oh. Why are there so many birds in origami?
Part of the reason is birds are kind of distinctive. You know, if it's got wings, you think, well, it's probably a bird.
We've been told that from this point forward that if we take too long, teacher's gonna have to leave us behind.
No mercy. Fold that edge in to meet the first edge. It's called a kite base. It's also called an ice cream cone fold.
Oh, it is ice cream.
Every time I teach that to third graders, that's exactly what they do. Now we'll take the white part, the ice cream part, and we're gonna fold it down over the other two flaps. Unfold all three of those flaps.
Now wave your hands like you just don't care.
Now we're gonna... Wait. This edge is gonna lie along that
This
line.
edge is gonna lie along.
Nope, doesn't cross it, it lies along it. So you want this edge to lie along that
I'm panicking.
line.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting heartburn.
Remember that the fold needs to go to this corner.
Okay,
So you're adjusting the angle all the way along so that the fold ends up coming to that corner.
well don't look, doctor.
Next step is we're gonna take the newly created folded edge and we're gonna fold it down so that the crease that's in the middle lines up with the white triangle. And you were the first of these four people to get it.
You did it, Quay.
Try to count me out, but I'm back in the game. Kwesi James origami kinda folding my pain.
Gonna fold in my pain.
Cause I'm folding my pain.
I got two edges on the bottom of a foot. I put my thumb in there, finger on top,
This is a nice
pull
little
the point
tuxedo.
down. It's called a reverse fold, and that's how we get a foot.
My feet are so different.
There is one more fold, but it's really easy, which is if you put your finger inside, you can pop open the body and make it 3D.
Oh snap.
You got it.
You say origami and I say origami. Origami.
Origami.
Origami. Ah, yeah. You too, doctor.
You know, I'm going to give you a B there.
Okay, we're moving in the right direction.
Your feet hurting a little bit. We're going
They're
to
also
shift to a.
hurting.
All right.
I think that's going to be a C because it's kind
agree.
of messed out. But you know, well, yeah, I think you're up to a B.
Hell yeah.
I'm keeping this one.
Yeah, this one's
Good. Do you want to do the standing crane?
Goodness.
So this is the standing crane,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
and this is hard. I mean, like way harder than this. Really? But we're going to give it a try. And then we had prepared, we at one point thought, well, maybe if we had time, we'd go do the dancing crane, which is even harder.
Oh my god.
And this is the dancing crane.
That looks so cool.
This is like super duper hard. So we're not going to do this. No way.
So how old is origami?
We don't actually know how old it is. We know that paper was invented in China, I think around 100 AD. So it could well be that paper folding as a practice started in China. But in Japan, the shapes that we recognize as origami go back several hundred years.
So 100 AD, that means Jesus just missed it.
Yeah, Jesus couldn't be there for that.
Which is not a joke, it's just an observation.
Yeah.
This is Japanese foil paper. It's
Shiny.
very thin. It happens to be shiny, although we're going to fold it so that the crane comes out mostly white.
For this design, are there any new techniques we're going to be trying?
Many new techniques, and they are hard. You will be stretched to the limit to accomplish this.
I notice you have schematics here.
So I have my notes for this because this is complex enough. I want to make sure I don't forget any important steps. We're going to start color up, and we're going to fold it in half diagonally. It's more susceptible to wrinkles than the other paper we worked with.
We have these here, and like we could measure this out.
That would be tedious and more likely to have an error.
My hands are always moisturized. Are your hands always moisturized?
They are not, but I've never felt a need or a lack of moisture in them. And I think once you start exercising, you get just a little bit of sweat, and that's just enough to give a good grip on the paper. And then we're going to put both of those folds in at once and gather the edges of the excess paper together to make a little flap that stands up. And now we're going to do a collapse.
Whoa.
Meaning all these folds that we've been folding and unfolding, we're going to put into place at once. And the excess paper we lift up in the middle.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
It's a lot like we did in the Parrot.
Yeah.
We're going to fold the edge down so that the crease lines up with the existing horizontal crease.
We open his butt.
Open it. This crease is in the right place, which means something is coming. So first,
I can't look at you.
Kwesi, are you gonna do that fold?
I can't do the fold, Rachel. I'm so far behind now.
we lost Kwesi.
We lost it.
You're done for real?
He tapped
I'm
out.
tapped out.
We already had the X and the explosion graphic over him. You didn't see that? It was a.
Should I just get out the way?
No.
There. I'm sorry.
It's getting bleak over here, guys. Okay,
Mine's
so
looking
we've
pretty
got
rough.
YB and I both have these little triangles, but when you close it up, it's all crinkly.
I'm afraid we're only at step 8.
Do you think that
Let's
this
plow
is?
forward. We
Do you think
just-
I can move forward with this?
Yeah, I do actually. So that
Feel
has
free
be
to just
down.
take it
And
and
that has to be down.
do this, and we don't even have to include this in the video. Oh wow, it
So-
looks so much better now that he helped.
Like compare that and then look at this.
That's different. This is a Bentley and this is the Chrysler 300.
Mine's been used for 10 years.
Let's take one layer. We open it out. We see it makes a little pocket near the top. The fold's called a spread sink. We spread the edges, and we're going to stretch it gently so that this triangle disappears. I'm basically going to puff out this triangle at the top. This is a case where the tweezers really help.
This is so hard.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Way to go, Keith!
Oh, I see.
Help me.
Put your hand on both sides like this and slowly like push it out. And it kind of starts making this shape.
So we're flattening out that triangle. It forms a perfect little isosceles triangle.
I just ripped my tip off. I was pulling it ever so
That
slightly.
sounds painful.
That's the best I can do.
Hey,
It's a
we'll
messed
take
up
it.
triangle.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
I think I got it.
You have it beautifully, which is good because we're going to do it again.
Oh no!
What's the level of expertise that we're reaching toward today?
We are reaching towards complex folding, and that's part of a scale that goes simple, intermediate, complex, super complex. A super complex fold might take 40 solid hours of folding.
What?
We're not going to do that. Take the lower edge and fold it up.
Oh, this?
Yeah, because that's going to be the tail.
Like a little tail feather.
Oh, hello! Where'd you come from? Oh, hello! Where'd you come from? Doing.
We now have to make the toes.
Kwesi was whispering to me. He says he doesn't think that you can make that look better.
Oh, is that it? Is that
I dare you.
Challenge.
So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make one of them better.
Okay.
But then you're going to have to do the others.
Well, that's the best one.
Well, what's the worst? What's the worst one? Tell me.
The middle one
worst
for sure.
The middle one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally magic watching his fingers.
I can't do it myself.
It seems absolutely unsalvageable.
They're so nimble.
There's no hope. All hope is lost, and then he gets in, and you just go, "Oh, you did all of them."
Yeah.
Oh.
It clicked. So I'm like, okay, I'm rolling.
No, I'm thrilled that Keith is.
Yeah, Keith is
It's
great.
clicking.
What does it look like?
Whoa!
This crimpling paper.
Wow. You're so brave to keep going. That's what's up, yo. That is amazing. I am so proud.
One of the great folders of the 21st century, an artist named Eric Joisel, French artist, and he said what he does is jazz folding. There's a folded structure that he just takes as the jumping off point for making the folds that come to his mind and not following any plan. He's just going with the flow, and he does these incredible artworks. So in fact, when the fire came through and I was grabbing the few things to throw in the car and save during the evacuation, I grabbed one of mine, which was the Black Forest cuckoo clock, and 3 of his. Things of mine I could reproduce perhaps, but I could never reproduce, and nor could anyone else. He passed away. I could never reproduce his work, so those are more precious.
That's kind of beautiful.
What a salute to someone of a master of their craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put both of those folds we just made in so that we have a flat top.
Yep.
And then bend it upward and close it.
Wow.
And so that we now have a very skinny neck. We are very close.
I was trying to remember why my tip was so messed up, and I remember I ripped it off.
A long time ago.
That was like 5 hours.
Yeah.
My dude looks f***ed up. He's drunk. He had a rough night.
Squeeze it below the head, spread out the layers of the head a little bit, and then pinch the head in half so that it changes its angle.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Looks good.
Whoa, that's not what mine looks like at all.
Mine
Oh
either.
yeah, it doesn't look like that for real. It doesn't look like that. Wow, yours is impressive, Mr. Robert.
Yeah,
So
that's
even though we
amazing.
skipped a few steps, we've still got a pretty decent crane.
Yeah, Zach.
The feet go flat.
Wow, Zach.
You know, it won't be an F, it'll be like a D for effort.
If you got a D, what did I get?
Yeah, what did I get? This is because I thought mine was a D.
C, B, and an A.
Hey!
Big boy stops.
And we're grading on a curve.
Yeah.
By the way.
So this is the crease pattern for a flasher. My favorite way of using origami is a project that's been at NASA. It's called Starshade. This is a telescope that's going to look for planets orbiting faraway stars. When you look out there at the star, you've got this incredibly bright star, and so in your telescope, you want to block the starlight so that you can see that dim little planet. That 10-meter flat disk is what needs to fold up. It took some pretty nice math to compute the fold pattern that takes it down in sort of a spinning way to a small size.
This is still the origami video.
Yeah. We're still in origami.
We have to pre-crease every fold, and then we try to bring them all together at once.
What?
Now, if you look closely, you'll see that there are dashed lines in magenta and solid lines in blue. The solid lines are what we call mountain folds, meaning that's peaked toward you. And you can see it's shaped like a mountain. The red magenta lines are valley folds. And so a valley fold, you fold toward yourself
Wow.
on the line, that is a valley fold.
And I noticed you only did one square worth. You didn't follow the entire line down.
That's right. And the reason I did that is this is not perfectly straight. Each little segment
No
bends
way.
slightly. And so if you try to fold it all at once, your fold will go straight, it'll wander off of the line, and bad things will happen.
This straight line is not a straight line.
The individual segments are straight, but the next segment deviates just slightly. And the reason for that deviation is that accommodates the thickness of the paper. If paper had 0 thickness, we could make all these lines straight, and then when we fold it, they'd stack up neatly. But because this paper has non-negligible thickness, we need to accommodate the thickness in the design. The math allows us to do that, but the price we pay is these slight changes in angle, which means arcs. So what we're gonna do is simply crease every one of these segments in the direction indicated by the colored line.
All of them, everything.
At least I've already made my first mistake and now I'm not stressed.
Well, if 1 or 2 are a little bit off, that's not gonna matter. But if a whole bunch of them are off, then it'll matter.
This is so
Oh
hard.
my God. The piece of paper, you can't fold it more than 7 times, right? On itself.
Actually, you can. In fact, I have won bar bets because I can usually get it to 8, an ordinary sheet to 8. But in fact, there is no upper limit.
Oh, really? Oh, this is blowing my mind.
Mythbusters created a huge sheet of paper and then did this experiment. I think they got up to maybe around 16 folds. In the last fold, they had to use a forklift
Oh my God.
because of the exponential buildup. But the point is, there's no upper limit. If you had a large enough sheet, you could get as many folds as you needed.
Everybody look up at Robert for 1 second.
What?
Oh, look
Oh
at you.
my God.
This is how it's gonna come together.
How'd you do it so fast?
I have practice.
It's not about the paper bending, right, Uncle Robert? It's about me bending,
You bending?
you know?
It's a little of both of you.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a little of
bend.
both of you.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful, Kwesi.
Got that from the Matrix.
I think I'm done with all the valley.
Wow.
So it looks pretty cool from
that
the
looks very good.
Way to go, IB.
Yeah.
no, mountain.
Now the mountains.
Okay.
I'm flashing. Cover your eyes.
You got it?
Hey! Wow.
And pull. And that's the flashing.
Nice.
IB.
What the f am I?
Everyone's doing it.
What?
You're awfully close. Now you see this valley needs to be up and that valley needs to be down, but you're pretty close. There you go. Okay, you're getting it.
Gracie's crying.
Just be gentle. Hey, he's got it.
He's got it.
I could do anything. Uncle Robert.
To straighten out the snag and then put it back.
How are you feeling?
I feel so accomplished. I just can't wait till Zach catches up with all of us. Wow. That's great. Thank you for that experience.
You're welcome.
Oh, come on now.
I gotta give Keith an A because
Wow.
it's crisp and
perfect.
clean. I'm gonna give YB a B because there's some wrinkles, but
wrinkly.
still it's basically there. And I think maybe C's for both of y'all.
We can cut this part of the video then. I feel like it's not an arc. What makes it so much fun? Let me see this thing.
I think I just didn't have as many wrinkles.
Yeah, I have a lot of wrinkles.
Yeah, it's crisper.
Just unbelievably cool. I've seen origami and like you see the finished product and you go, wow, that's neat. But there's something about knowing how it got there that makes it so much more magnificent.
I think this is super cool. I love the experience of following along, running into problems.
Yeah.
Feels gratifying to do something hard, even if you don't do it perfectly.
And you have a calming soul. I just want to tell you that I love you.
Well, thank you.